What's up, guys? We're having a little change of plans here. What are we gonna call this? I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to fix the settings here. So basically what happened is I'm just having massive technical difficulties with my streaming setup and my PlayStation 4, but we all decided we were going to be here tonight, so we're going to stream. So instead, we're just going to do a Turbografx stream. So I've got my PC Engine set up here, and I'm just going to edit the description here a little bit, just so I'm not giving people the wrong impression here. So I just want to get that out of there. So I do apologize, A, for being 5 minutes late, and B, for not being able to do the Sega stream. I'm still going to have to do the Sega stream. I'll have to do it tomorrow. I'm just going to have to bring a different capture device here into my office so that I can do it, because the one that I have here is just not getting along with pretty much anything. So I'm just going to write here, tonight we are streaming Turbografx instead. So yeah, Turbografx-16. All right, so yeah, so I guess now we're good to go. So I'm gonna get the chat window open over here on my computer so that I can talk to you guys, and then we have Soldier Blade loaded up here first. That is one of my very favorite Turbografx-16 / PC Engine games. So we can close this window now, I suppose. And yeah, so I'm going to kind of trust you guys to let me know how the audio levels are, because I kind of don't believe the meters on OBS here. So you guys just let me know if it doesn't sound good. So I'm gonna get started and play some Soldier Blade. So I was actually getting ready to talk about this game over on my other channel. I don't know if maybe there's still a few of you who don't know about my other channel. I have another channel called Cgq and I just do stuff over there, like live stream sometimes, or do like much more casual content. And one of the videos that I'm working on for that channel right now is talking about the Turbografx-16, but just doing like a casual, like, you know how people do like top 10 videos. Like, I'm not really into top 10 videos because I feel like, you know, everybody's top 10 list looks pretty much the same. So I decided that what I was going to do instead was like what I was calling a next 10 video. So like, if you take your top 10 and you throw it out, then what would your next 10 be? Because I think that then you have a lot more variation in people's lists. So, but you know, that kind of content over there is pretty much just me looking at the camera and just talking. It's not so like highly produced and edited as it is over on this channel. But one of the things I've been doing over on that channel lately is live streaming, and the reason that I was doing that really was just to try to figure out the ins and outs of live streaming, which I thought I had figured out, but this was the first time I'd ever tried to stream the PS4, which obviously didn't work very well. And so I wasn't as ready as I thought. But the point was just that I want to start live streaming over on this channel instead of the other channel. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that the first live stream ends up not being the Sega Genesis Classics one, just because that is a sponsored. Just because that is a sponsored video, and I feel like that's kind of bad optics. I don't want the first stream on this channel to be sponsored, because I don't want people to get the idea that that's what I'm going to start doing. So, but we are still going to do that. So I'm just going to have to, like I said, do it tomorrow. I think if I just bring, I'll just bring my Elgato to work, and I'm sure that will work just fine. So it's just going to have to be tomorrow evening instead of this evening. So, I mean, I guess kind of good news, because that means that there's going to be 2 streams in the same weekend. So, so that's pretty cool. Oh boy. Usually I'm not bad at this game. It's very hard to play games and talk to people at the same time. So, you know, I'm probably just going to... What I do over on the other channel is I'll just, you know, play one level and then pause it and sort of check the comments. And then play the next level, so... And I think I actually already played this game. I already did a Turbografx live stream over on the other channel. I think I called it the PC Engine Power Stream. So, and just in case anybody's wondering why I don't just have my Elgato here, I'm actually at work because we have faster internet here, and my internet. Game over. Wow, my internet's not really fast enough. It is way too bright. That's better. My internet's not really fast enough at home to stream, and I really should just try to upgrade it and see if that helps. So sorry, I'm starting over again. I can't just leave that alone because that was not a good demonstration of my Soldier Blade abilities. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit, so hopefully that's not going to cause an echo. It is going to cause an echo because now I hear the echo. Just a second, because I know why. Okay. Okay. Hopefully we can do better this time. I'd also like to hear from you guys what you would like to see me play. Today, I mean. I didn't really, you know, my plan was to play something else. So normally I would come into this with sort of a list of games to at least get us started, but to be honest, the reason that we're playing the Turbografx is it's the only other game system that I have here at work. So, because I've been recording gameplay footage here at work, I brought my capture computer down here, which is what I'm streaming with, and then what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just stay here after work and record gameplay video, because I don't really have room to have another computer set up at home. Like I have my Macintosh desktop set up in, like, you know, the normal Cgq HQ at home, and that's like my editing computer. But Macs are not really good for capturing video because they're not compatible with most capture devices. Like my Mac is compatible with the Elgato, and that's okay, I guess. But Elgato is okay, but you know, I got this capture device that I have here now, the StarTech capture device, and it does a pretty good job, except I think that the drivers are maybe just a little bit wonky, and that was the problem I was running into tonight. Is it should have been a simple matter of just having the audio capture work the same way the video capture does, because they both just come through the HDMI cable, but for some reason it just doesn't want to capture the audio, and so we could have played the Genesis Classics collection, but there would have been no audio. And at least part of what I wanted to talk about with that game was the audio, because it's one of the problems with the collection. Like, overall, I think the collection is pretty decent, but the audio is definitely one of the low points. So there's no point in trying to do the stream without any audio. So I just want to try to get to the end of this level again, and then, like I said, I'll pause it and we can chat for a minute. My favorite weapon in this game is actually the red one, which is like the spread gun. But the thing is, this blue laser, I don't know what the names are, but this blue laser has the best special attack, so it's a trade-off, I guess. I mean, this is a good weapon though too, because it's still kind of a spread weapon, right? I mean, it shoots in different directions. See, it's funny because a bunch of people, I scheduled this stream earlier today, and a bunch of people like went ahead and disliked it before I even started streaming. I think just because I put in there that it was sponsored, I think it annoyed people. But see, now they're going to feel stupid because it ended up not even being a sponsored stream. So the green weapon I don't care for at all, so I always leave that one alone. That one's kind of like this wave shot or something. I mean, it's pretty cool or whatever, but it's like the least good of the. I don't want to say it's the crappiest, but it's the least good of the three weapons. And this boss, he's pretty easy. You just have to learn his pattern. I mean, I guess I'm not paying attention as much as I should, or I wouldn't have gotten a hit right there. But this game is pretty good as I think like a entry level shooter for people, just because it really doesn't get hard until the third or fourth level. Obviously, if it's the first time you've ever booted it up, then maybe it's going to feel a little bit difficult, but it's really not bad. And then you get to about the third or fourth level, and then it starts to feel kind of hard. And so then, but that's what you want, right? If the whole thing is easy, then it's no fun. So, okay, so that's the end of the first level. So let me just get to where I can pause it, and then I'm just going to chat it up with you guys for a few minutes. Stop. Okay. So, I'm hoping somebody has something to say about the audio levels to make sure that they're okay. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I see I got a couple of donations, so I definitely appreciate that a lot. Oh, cool. Eric's here from that's Cosmic Effect. That's Eric from Brazil. He helped me out with the Sega Master System video, like a year and a half ago. So he says the audio is great, so that's good. And yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everybody's telling me like my content. I really appreciate that. I mean, I make it for you guys, so that's cool. Yeah. So somebody asked, "What's this live stream about?" Then, well, it's not about the Sega Genesis Classics title, unfortunately. And then someone says, "Yeah, working on the job." Well, I mean, this is kind of a job too. So, and then Skip and Tosh, thanks for the donation. He says, "Keep this going more often." Yeah, like I said, I've got like some goals. For this channel and what I want to do, and one of them is to start streaming regularly, along with obviously uploading content more often. So yeah. That's a very good question. So somebody says, what games do I have available to play? So I have this Super SD System 3. I don't know if some of you guys might not know what that is. Here, I'll just show you real quick with the webcam here. So I've got this PC Engine core graphics here, and then it has this deal on the back. And if you haven't heard of this thing, My Life in Gaming did a review of this already, so probably most of you guys know what it is. The Super SD System 3 is sort of like an EverDrive and a CD-ROM drive emulator put together. So basically, I have the entire Turbografx Turbo Chip library on there, PC Engine Hue cards, and then CD games for both the Turbografx and the PC Engine on there. So pretty much any Turbografx or PC Engine game is, no pun intended, fair game. So if there's something you want to see, please do let me know. Blazing lasers, yeah, I could do that. That would be pretty cool. Somebody wants to know what I think about the cancellation of Roseanne. I try to stay out of politics on YouTube, and I'm going to kind of keep that going. The only thing I would say about that is that Roseanne was one of my favorite shows when I was growing up, and I would just say that in general, I think what happened is a shame, and that's all I'm going to say. This is the most watching and least participating stream I've ever been a part of. So I guess I don't know what that means, but hopefully that's good. I don't really know. Castlevania Rondo of Blood. That would be fun for us to go through. So we got Castlevania and Blazing Lasers. Somebody says, would you please post your P.O. box in the description when you upload this video? Sure, if I upload the video. We'll see how it turns out. But if not, you can just go to the channel about page, and it'll have the P.O. box there. That's another good thing I should bring up. So I started this thing on the other channel. It's like, I call it like the Cgq Postcard Club, because I had to call it something. But it was something I decided to do for people who maybe wanted like a little Classic Gaming Quarterly souvenir that didn't want to buy something, like buy a t-shirt or whatever. So I had some postcards made up using the same artwork that's on the t-shirt. And all you have to do if you want a postcard is send a postcard from wherever you are into the show. And you just send it to the show's P.O. box, which is over on the channel about page. So people have been liking that a lot so far. So hopefully we keep that going. How about a good play of Uno? I hope that's a joke. I don't know. Voice audio is good. Game is a bit low. Yeah, I mean, I could turn it up a little bit. I mean, part of what's great about the Turbografx is the audio, so we don't want it to be too quiet. Let's see what else. Oh, greetings from England. Wow, isn't it like late there? Wow. Well, thanks for stopping by. Somebody's asking where to get the Super System SD3. It's from a company called Terra Onion. If you just Google Super System SD3, they're still on back order a little bit, but it's not so bad as it used to be. So I think you're still gonna have to wait maybe like a month or something. Someone says please upload this video. Okay, I'll upload it. That's cool. And we got another donation from Little Kings 211. Thank you very much. So glad to see you streaming frequently. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to stream more often on this channel. Pay no mind to those that are griefing. Yeah, well, you know, I understand. Anyway, and then somebody's asking when the next magazine read-through is going to be. I want to try to do a magazine video every single month. So it's my goal to upload a magazine read-through sometime in the month of June. So, let's turn I'm going to turn the audio up on the game a little bit, so someone's going to have to tell me if it's up too high. Oh, hold on, because now I'm going to die if I... Okay, there it is. Sorry. We're a little bit low-tech here today. Okay, so I turned it up a little bit, so somebody tell me how that sounds. Somebody's asking for the launch of the N64. I mean, I did that one already. Turned out pretty good, I thought. I'm not really sure which system I want to do the launch of next. The three that I'm kind of toying with are, you know, the NES, obviously, but I've been avoiding doing the launch of the NES just because it's going to be a lot of work, and I think I'll enjoy doing it, but I don't know. I don't know why I haven't been wanting to do that one as much, even though I think it would be a good one. The other two I want to do just because they're... I get asked constantly about doing the Sega Dreamcast, and I think that would be a really cool launch video to do. I've already got like ideas in my head of like some of the stuff I want to talk about or show if I do the launch of the Dreamcast. Because plus then that would sort of complete the cycle with Sega systems. I mean, unless I did the Game Gear, but I don't really want to do the... I'll probably do the Game Gear someday, but I'm not looking forward to that one. The other one I really wanted to do is the Game Boy, the original Game Boy. And I actually started writing a script for that one a while back, and then I stopped because I just started working on something else instead. But part of the reason that I have this PC Engine here is just in case, like if you don't follow the show on Twitter, then and if you don't watch CGQ Plus, then you probably have no way of knowing this. But the next proper episode of Classic Gaming Quarterly is going to be the Turbografx-16 in 1989. So like what I did with the Super Nintendo in 1991, where I talked about all of the post-launch titles, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the Turbografx. And I think that's going to be a cool episode. You know, obviously R-Type was a 1989 game, and then the Turbo CD, oh, I hate this boss. The Turbo CD, of course, came out in the fall of 1989. And I mean, there were some other cool games. A bunch of shooters came out in '89. I mean, obviously the Turbografx is sort of a shooter system, but I don't remember off the top of my head how many shooters came out in '89, but it was like 4. I think I'm talking about R-Type for sure, Sidearms, Dragon Spirit, and I think I'm forgetting. I mean, I don't have my script in front of me or whatever, but and then. Like Moto Rotor came out, which that one's going to be, I don't know, it'll be okay to talk about, I guess. And World Class Baseball, which I know probably some people are not super into sports games, but I like talking about sports games. You just have to find a way to make them interesting. Which I think I did with World Class Baseball, hopefully. I kind of like this part of the level here because, like, you know, you're flying over this, like, you're high above the city. It just looks pretty cool. Oh, I accidentally picked up. See, so I was saying I don't like the green weapon, so I just picked up the green weapon. See, you can see it kind of has the widest, like, area of coverage, if you will, but it's like the weakest. So you have to, the bad guys like take more hits. Oh. All right, well, I accidentally got rid of it, so now I guess we're good. So. You have to, like, this kind of takes just a little bit of memorization, because you have to remember to, like, stay away from the edges of the screen during that part because those people are coming up behind you. I'll get back. I see people are asking questions still. I promise I'll get back to them as soon as I'm done with this boss. One of the other things I wanted to do, like I was saying, I want to stream more on this channel. Is I want to have like guests on the show, kind of like what, well, not kind of. I mean, that is what My Life in Gaming does. And Corey from My Life in Gaming already said he'd be down to hang out on the show. So he's somebody I definitely would like to have come hang out. But I mean, there might even, I don't know if it'd even be entertaining, but I even had ideas about, like what if there was a live stream where I was talking to somebody and we weren't even playing games? Like, what if it was somebody like really interesting that normally doesn't appear on like live streams or podcasts or whatever? And because you guys could even like submit questions for that person in advance or something. I don't know. It might be fun. Whoa. All right, we almost got him. See, but you see, like this boss again, like isn't really that hard. You just have to memorize some of the basics of how they move so that you don't get caught out. But see, I mean, that wasn't that hard, right? So I guess we got the bad gameplay out of our system on the first run through, and now we're doing better. So. So I'm gonna pause it now. I'm gonna pause it now here and to see what you guys are chit-chatting about here. Play NBA tournament. I can't play NBA Jam because it's not on the Turbografx. Otherwise, that would be cool. I really love that game. Launch the CDI. I'm not gonna do the launch of the CDI. Launch of the Virtual Boy. I mean, you're making a smiley face, so you make it seem like you're joking, but that might actually be really interesting. I think. Or just maybe the history of the Virtual Boy. I used to have a Virtual Boy. I got my Virtual Boy for $1. I think, didn't I tell that story already? I went to a thrift store and there's a Virtual Boy, like complete, not like in like a carrying case or anything, but everything was there. It worked. It even had a game in it, and it didn't have a price tag. And so I asked the lady at the front. I said, "Well, how much is this?" And she goes, "Oh, that's $1." And then she goes, "Well, wait, like what is it?" And so I explained to her what it is, thinking that she was going to raise the price. I'm like, "Oh, it's this video game system, and you put it up to your face, and you play, And then she goes, "Oh, well, then $1." Like, I think she was thinking that maybe she would lower the price, but then I told her how cool it was. And so then she, like, wanted the full $1, so. Yeah, CDI running joke. Yeah, hey, Modern Vintage Gamers here, Demetrius. Launch of the Xbox. I actually would like to do the launch of the Xbox. I think that would be popular, but I also would just like to do it. And then, yeah, the Neo Geo, people have been asking about that. Like, that's probably another one where I wouldn't do, like, the launch of the Neo Geo. I would just do, like, the history of the Neo Geo. I think not a lot is really even known about the launch. Hey, Bola Plume's here. I just sent you your postcard. Hopefully you got it. Oh, he says he did. I got both my new... You got 2 shirts? I didn't know that. Oh, you got one off Amazon. Cool. Yeah, the one that Steve did is a really cool shirt. I hope at some point maybe I can do another run of those, but I have to pay for those in advance. So, I thought I saw something else I wanted to. Yeah, someone says just do the launch of the Turbo CD. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's going to get covered in the Turbografx in 1989. I mean, the thing is with the launch of the Turbo CD is only 2 games came out with it, and I don't think it would be a good standalone episode, personally. Yeah, you always want to have an original. Yeah, arcade machines have gotten really expensive. It's really kind of disappointing, actually. I've got a Sega Astro City cabinet that I paid like $500 for it. You'd never be able to get one for that price. Wow, Bo, thank you. You're far too generous, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the shirt. Does it fit? Weren't you the one where I told you that if it didn't fit, I would give you a refund because it wasn't your size, right? Because you were large. Is it? So hopefully it's cool. They run a little bit small, so. Oh, I didn't know the Sega collection was on Steam, so that's cool. All right, so am I missing anything? Just found your channel. How long have I've been on YouTube for 5 years, roughly. I don't know when. I always forget when it's like the anniversary. I always remember like 2 weeks later. I just think, oh, I should have done something for my anniversary. All right, so I guess we're caught up. Oh, David says he liked the horror movie episode. Yeah, thanks. One thing I kind of forgot to talk about when I was talking about horror movies is, I wanted to mention like HBO and Cinemax, because that's actually where I watched probably most of the movies that I talked about. I used to go over to my friend Adam's house a lot on the weekends, and I would spend the night at his house, like on Saturday night. And well, actually, it was at his grandparents' house. We go to his grandparents' house, and they had like the deluxe cable package or whatever, and so they had like HBO and Cinemax and Showtime, and we used to always stay up as late as we could and watch. Mostly what they would show late at night, on those channels is either horror movies, or I don't know if you guys have ever heard Cinemax referred to as Skinemax, because they would show, sort of NC-17 movies, if that makes the point clear. And of course, we were just teenagers, so stuff like that, was stuff we were interested in. So, you'd see like Silver Bullet, maybe followed up by some sort of skin flick or something. So now we're in the third level. This level gets a little bit more difficult. I also don't really like this level that much. I think it's a little bit boring, and I don't like having all these ground vehicles coming after me, but it's okay, I guess. The fourth level, though, has really cool graphics because you're like flying over this canyon. So I want to at least get to the fourth level, and then maybe we go ahead and switch over to Castlevania. By the way, I don't have any moderators or anything in the chat there, so hopefully everybody's behaving themselves. See, so like here, this guy's like shooting out these little, these little discs or whatever, and like knocking up some of the asphalt, and so like you have to avoid the asphalt, and then he's like bulletproof except when that little back door opens. So if we try going like that, maybe that'll help. So I was telling you that the blue laser has like the coolest special weapon, and that's why it's like just that big fat laser beam. All right, so he leaves. That's pretty cool, and that's kind of a cool effect that like that thing is so heavy that it's leaving those like tire tracks or tread tracks in the road. I think that looks pretty cool. Nope. I got like sometimes when you're playing a shooter, you're just out of position, and you're out of position, and you're probably hosed, and that was exactly what happened right there. So here we just got to shoot all the various parts of this guy. But I think I don't think this is the boss, if I remember correctly. Which is funny, because it hasn't been that long since I played this game, but... the boss? I don't think so. Yeah, see, this is the boss. That's like the pre-boss. See, this one's cool because like those little, what are those, yellow or whatever? Oh, man. Those like yellow things are trying to show you like the magnetic field that you have to like. Oh, sorry. Now things are going downhill rapidly here. I feel like it's very hard to play this level and talk. But see, basically that magnetic field is like either pushing you out or pulling you in, and then he tries to shoot you with those big shots. And so you have to kind of just, if you just stay at a certain angle, how did I get shot that time? You're safe. All right, so we got one of his arms. But see, then he's also got these missiles coming after you, so it's a lot to deal with, especially when you've been shot and now you're overpowered. Jeez. All right, so that's enough of that. So let's just see what's going on. Someone wants to know, Classic Gaming Quarterly, is that a bi-monthly publication? Well, no, it would be once every 3 months, I suppose. Can you do a game history on Fire Emblem? You know, I've honestly actually never played one of the Fire Emblem games, so I'm not saying no, I'm just saying I've never played one of those. Someone wants to know, are you into Scream Factory and Arrow Video horror Blu-ray? I don't really watch horror movies anymore. Mostly because I don't really watch movies anymore, to be honest with you. I don't have time. Like, after making that video talking about horror movies, I really wanted to go back and watch, you know, like an old Nightmare on Elm Street or something. But I just really don't have the time. So, okay. So anyway, let's switch to a different game. Yeah, let's play some Castlevania. That'll be cool. Oh, someone says, I could have sworn the title said, let's check out the Sega Genesis collection. Yeah, it used to say that. Okay. So, just for anybody who hasn't seen, by the way, the way the Super SD System 3 works, when you boot it up, this is the interface that you have, and for some reason it's kind of clunky, but I have to do a review of this. It was actually given to me to do a review of, so I have to do the review. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But for whatever reason, you have to switch between these two tabs up at the top of the screen, depending on if you want to play a HuCard game or play a CD-ROM game. Then if you're in the HuCard tab, you can only see HuCard games. Like now, if I go down to, we'll go to Japanese CD since we're going to play Castlevania. So now if I open this folder, see it's empty because it's like filtering it out so you can only see HuCard games. But then if I just hit select, then go over to CD-ROM and see now it shows CD-ROM games. So, and then all you have to do is just highlight the game you want to play and just hit run. And there's like no loading time because it's all on an SD card. So that's pretty sweet. Somebody wants to know if I watched the new Star Wars movie. No, I honestly haven't. I haven't watched a Star Wars movie in quite some time. I'm going to skip the intro. I mean, I talked about the intro when I did the video about this. I can't skip the intro. Well, never mind. We're watching the intro then, I guess. I think I might need to adjust the position of this picture a little bit, don't you think?
Auf der Schattenseite des Friedens und des Wachstums gab und gibt es aber auch immer das Böse. Die Menschen beginnen, das Wachstum abzulehnen und bezeichnen den Frieden.
Sorry that it makes us watch the intro. I'll just talk to you guys while that's running. Cheeky boys. Yeah, it kind of does sound a little bit filthy, doesn't it? I could say what that sounds like, but keep it clean. Somebody says they want a Pi real bad. Yeah, you should get a Raspberry Pi, dude. I have one and I like it a lot. It's not a substitute for the real thing, but yeah, Lovelorn Nick says Legendary Axe is my favorite Turbografx game. That and Dungeon Explorer, those are both definitely very good games. I know I said it in the Turbografx launch video, but they really should have made Legendary Axe the pack-in game. It's really annoying that it won't let me skip this. Yeah, why are they talking German? I really don't know. Like, it doesn't really make sense, because shouldn't this be taking place in, like, Transylvania, and shouldn't they be speaking, like, Slovakian? And then this is Japanese, so why aren't they just speaking Japanese? There we go, finally. Someone wants me to turn up the game audio, I can do that. Especially for a game like this. There, alright. So we gotta enter our name real quick. Just to keep things simple. So I'm not wasting your time. Romanian, thank you. Oh, hey, J Business. Yeah, I guess I should know where Transylvania is. Okay. Can you let me skip this one? Well, I can't skip this one either, so. Carefully don't get flagged by Konami. That happened to me. One of my episodes of Flashback over on the other channel. I played Life Force for like 5 minutes in an hour-long video, and Konami flagged the video, and so I had to do like I'd like challenge their copyright claim, and of course I won, but it's just like they just do it automatically, and it's really crappy. You know, it's bad enough that Konami doesn't really make video games anymore, but then, you know, apparently they've got someone there who has time to flag videos on YouTube or something. I don't really know. Yeah, Derek. They flagged as soon as I uploaded it. It's like it's not a person that actually does it. I mean, I was saying they have a person, but that's not how it works. But sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It's just an automated thing. See, wasn't he speaking Japanese? Where are you gonna go now? Let's go. No, yeah, no, it's definitely Konami doing it. They just have it set up on YouTube, I guess, to do it. And I don't know. I just don't understand the point in doing that, because they're not going to win, you know. Like, the only person that is going to fall for that are like naive people who've been on YouTube for like a month and are going to see that they got like a copyright claim and get scared, you know. I think that the dagger is like the worst special weapon in Castlevania. Although, you know what's funny is when I was a kid, the dagger was like my favorite special weapon, because that way I could stay away from all the enemies. Because like I was so crappy at video games in general, and especially Castlevania, that if I had something like the dagger that only cost 1 heart, then for me that was cool, because like I said, then I could just kill everybody from afar. Whoa. Sorry, I haven't played this game in a while. In fact, the last time I played this game might have been when I made the video about it. And that was like years ago, so. Down here is where the little secret is, right? Back over here. Spoilers. can't go this way, right? I have to fall down. Forgot, is there something over here? Like, why did I have to... Anybody know? I don't know, whatever it is not important. It's close. Sorry, I'm rusty. Isn't there like cool stuff down here though? Ooh. No one told me about that. How am I gonna reach that? Oh, I know, I don't... The holy water's okay, but that cross is like the best weapon in the game, I think. Oh, I hate this. There's like this boss here. I don't care for him. Alright, I might be embarrassing myself right now. You may not want to eat old chicken wings, but it really depends on how hungry you are, right? I mean, it's all relative. Get rid of that freaking holy water. Alright. Why did it have to be snakes, right? I remember when I had to record all the gameplay footage for this game, when I did the video about it, and I remember getting stuck on this boss for a while. Just kind of embarrassing. It's not that bad. See, it's just lame. But I mean, you know, as always, it's just memorization. I gotta memorize it. Come on. Oh, sloppy. Yeah, so for anybody just joining who is wondering why we're not doing the Sega collection, I had technical difficulties with the capture, and I'm going to do that one tomorrow night because I have to. I mean, I want to, too. It's going to be fun, but we can't just skip it, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. stupid. See, that's how you do that. My timing's just off. This is lame. You didn't answer my question. What was your question? I just didn't see it. I mean, I don't have the chat window up here in front of me, so. Jesus Christ. More like classy gaming. I hope so. Dang it. I get hit again? Oh, no. He moves too slow. Oh, we have to start over? I'm sorry, guys. If you guys want to play something else, I'm totally fine with that, because that sucks. That's on me, though. I thought I'd have an easier time with this, to be honest with you. Just a second. Someone wants to know what I do for a living. I'm a scientist. We'll skip the secret area though this time, so. Batman's a scientist? Is he? I kind of feel like he's not. This is the part that we skipped by going the secret way. Kind of makes me think the secret way was the good way. It's a pretty cool looking enemy though, to be honest. This is a really cool looking area. I didn't expect that. Well, we skipped a lot of stuff by going that other way. We're gonna die right now because I only have like a sliver of life left. Ooh, right in the face. No cheating, I'm not cheating. Let me just see what you guys are up to real fast. Oh, hey, Basement Brothers, what's up, man? I don't know. He didn't ask the question. Yeah, there is a Street Fighter port, and I'm using the 6-button controller. So if you guys want to see the Street Fighter 2 port, I'm not saying I'm good at Street Fighter 2, but it is an impressive port, and it came out before the Super Nintendo port. So, what kind of science do you science? I'm a chemist. Don't pry into the man's business. Yeah, no, it's fine. I just, I don't know. I don't like to be too specific, I guess. Can't you tuck under his neck when he shoots the blue water? Who? I don't know. All right, anyway. See, this boss is much easier. Alright, well, at least we got to beat somebody. Are you going to save the stream on your channel? Yeah, I'll probably save it. See how much people hate the fact that I put a stream on the channel, but probably just shouldn't care. Wait. Did I not? I didn't know I could do that. Hello from Germany. Hey, man. Or woman. Oh, man. Yeah, I went to Germany about 1.5 years ago. I loved it there. YouTube informs me that this chat is in fact recorded now. Yeah, I suppose it is. Oh, whoops, sorry. I didn't see that guy. I hate these guys. Took way longer to kill that crow than it should have. The secret with those crows is you want to kill them before they start flying. See, like you see him right there? So you just kill him while he's on his branch or whatever. Once they start taking off, like, you don't know what they're doing. So I know I just got done saying how the dagger is a crappy weapon, but it's actually a very good application of it. I'll just freaking go. Just a second. This is why I need chat moderation, so I don't have to sit here and deal with these people. Okay. Better. Just annoying because I already have it set up so that if, you know, somebody uses naughty words, then it holds it for review, but still have to deal with people who want to Yeah, so it's not that I moved on to a new boss. It's that the first time I went, I took like a shortcut, and now I'm taking like the long cut. So now we get to see the part of the game, though, that's based on the original Castlevania, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully this level looks familiar to everybody. And the music. I like that in this game, if you switch your weapon, like the special weapon, and then you don't like what you got, it kind of gives you a chance to pick the old one back up. That's pretty cool. Not helpful. We have to outrun this guy, but then we also have to. Come on. You have to hit all the candles. I can't remember. There's a key hidden, and you have to get the key. I mean, you don't have to get the key, I don't think, but it unlocks an area that otherwise you're not going to get. So I feel like it was sort of timed with the zombie. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got the key. So now we just book. Nobody says that anymore. Gotta hurry up and get up here. That happens. See, so now if you get the key, then you can open this door like that, and then we're going to rescue Maria. Now we have to watch a cutscene. I'm going to turn it up.
俺はリヒター・ベルモンド、ヴァンパイアハンターだ。君は？
私はマリア・ラーネット。お兄ちゃんのことアネット姉ちゃんに聞いたことがあるよ。悪いおじちゃんをやっつけに来たんだけど捕まっちゃったの。マリアンちもヴァンパイアハンターなんだよ。だから今から友達ね。
友達ね。だがな、マリアにはまだ無理だ。悪いおじちゃんをやっつけるのはお兄ちゃんに任しときな。
そんなことないもん。マリア平気だもん。
Sorry, I was too loud. So basically now, because we saved Maria, like now she's a playable character. And I think I might have mentioned it in the video I did, but once I unlock Maria, generally I just use her. So I think we have to quit the game and restart it in order to switch characters. Yeah, they definitely still have work to do on the CD audio. I mean, have they done any work on the CD audio? I mean, I haven't gotten any kind of firmware update or anything, but I mean, to be honest, I don't really keep track, so I mean, if they did release a firmware update, I didn't see it. We still have to fight that giant bat here? 'Cause if so, we don't have the right weapon for it. Well, guess not. Oh, no, that's right. We can fight this, isn't it like the skeleton dude? Isn't he like on a... Oh, no, it's this guy. Oh, I think the holy water is pretty good for this guy, I think. Whoops. I don't remember the patterns, and maybe the holy water is not the best weapon. I don't think we have any other options. So you remember in the original Castlevania on the NES, that right there you fought the bat boss. I gotta quit doing that. Jeez. This holy water is doing very little. Damn it. Crap. That came down to the wire. If I continue, will it let me... Oh, there it is. See, now you can say player change. So, unfortunately, it means we're going to have to go over some of the same train again. But just in case, you know, if you guys haven't seen what it's like playing as Maria. And what else is cool is, besides obviously having a different attack, and, I mean, she handles quite a bit differently, she also has different special weapons that are nothing like what you're used to from playing like most Castlevania games. See, I mean, she just tears it up. Maria's flipping birds, that's funny. So you can only have 2 of those doves out at a time, so you can kind of get yourself into a little bit of trouble. I forgot what all these special weapons do. Like, you see I had that big, I don't know if that was a big bird or a big dragon, and now I have this turtle thing, which I forgot what it does, but we'll check it out in a second. She's throwing doves, I believe. She can also double jump. I mean, Richter can double jump too, but I think it's like a backwards jump. But also, like, you notice that when she attacks, she doesn't stop. Like, when you hit the attack button with Richter, he stops for a second to, like, wind up his whip or whatever. And she can just do it on the fly, which I think is cool. Forgot if there's the... Oh yeah, and then even when she gets her food power-ups, it's not like, you know, a plate of meat anymore. It's like cake. Wait for me. Damn it. Are you asking me, not Frank Castle? My favorite Super Nintendo game is probably Super Castlevania 4. I also really like F-Zero a lot, though. But I can't call F-Zero my favorite game, I don't think. I'm probably not thinking of some other stuff. I mean, there's quite a few Super Nintendo games that I love, as I think we all do. Batman Returns is an awesome one. Oh, hey, Blade Blur, what's up, man? Alright, so now we're going to try this special weapon of hers and see what that got. You see how it's so big you can't even see how many hearts you have? See that? That's very powerful. Forgot about that. But you can see how much easier it is with Maria, which is good for me because I'm not very good. It's really hot. Yes, it was like 100 degrees here today, so which is definitely hot. So sorry, I'm just scrolling up real quick to see what people are talking about. Is Rondo of Blood your favorite in the series? Maybe. I mean, I have a real soft spot for the original Castlevania just because it was one of the first Nintendo games that I played, or first handful. Ever think of doing some MAME? I would do that. That would be fun, actually. Like if we did like a MAME live stream. Does Pilot Wings hold up? Are you asking? If you're asking, yeah, I think Pilot Wings holds up pretty well. So, yeah, I don't know if Yoshi's Island's probably not my number one, but it's a good game. I really wish someone would release a Turbografx-16 collection. Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. I'm surprised nobody has, especially since so many Turbografx games came out on the Virtual Console. So, you know, you would think that if they took the time to do that they would put them into a collection. I mean, I don't know if there's some story about Nintendo having like the exclusive rights, but I mean, I certainly don't think so. I mean, what do they have to do with anything? Doesn't Konami own all of Hudson's properties now? If so, I'm just going to get doubly in trouble tonight, I guess, with Konami. Whoops. Well, that was stupid. What is that, like a Sunday? Whatever works. Yeah, Sega Master System Mini, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be cool. I mean, I don't think there's ever even going to be a proper Sega Genesis Mini. I mean, I guess I can talk about this since this isn't the Sega Genesis Classic stream anymore, but, you know, like, I'll say, first of all, I think that Sega Genesis Classics disc is decent. And I mean, if anybody hasn't watched it yet, you should go watch My Life in Gaming's review of it. I mean, I think it was very fair. I mean, it's got its pros and cons, but one of the main takeaways for me playing that was just, you know, I couldn't help but compare it to the NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini. Like, I understand that they're not exactly like the same thing, but you know, it just goes to show that you know, Nintendo has that attention to detail to make sure that, you know, they're not going to put their name on anything unless it's basically perfect, as far as something like that goes, at least. I mean, we can all say that, you know, they do this wrong or they do that wrong if you feel that way, but I mean, but if you look at something like the Nintendo Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini, I mean, what can you know, we can all complain about, like, maybe the game lineup because maybe there was something that we would have liked to see that wasn't there, but at least as far as the execution goes, I mean, the emulation is like as close to perfect as you're going to get, in my opinion. It is a good selection of games, and it's just a nice quality package, you know. And I don't understand, like, what is going on at Sega that they don't see that and just think, oh, we should do something like that, and like hire somebody that is going to do a good job. And it's just frustrating. And it's the same thing with this Sega collection. It's got so much going for it, and it's really cool. But then it's just got like the audio issues that Corey talked about, and like I played some multiplayer today, just with some rando online. And it was fun. But like the multiplayer, you know, it's like laggy. Like I was just playing the original Streets of Rage, and I mean, it was fine. Like, whoops, you know, it works and everything, but it's just like, if you can play like, oh man, if you can play like a first-person shooter online and not have all that lag, then why can't you play a Sega Genesis game online and not have all that lag? You know, or just like even the matchmaking in the game, like, left a lot to be desired. You know, like the way I had it set up, like you basically just, unless you already know who you want to play with which I didn't, I was just trying to find just somebody online, you don't get to really pick what game you want to play. Like you can, but it's real clunky. The interface just basically matches you up with somebody that I guess already knows what game they want to play, or I don't even know how that all worked, you know. And so like I kind of waited until I got matched with somebody on a game that I wanted to play, you know, like Golden Axe or Streets of Rage was a nice choice. It was kind of funny actually playing Streets of Rage with this guy because I guess he wanted to play multiplayer because I got matched up with him, but then when he started the game, he put it into one-player mode and just started playing. And so I kind of sat there for a minute like, well, can I just jump in? Like I wasn't sure what to do. But I just went ahead and hit the start button and was able to play. But I mean, maybe he hasn't played. What the heck? Maybe he hasn't played Streets of Rage for a while, but he didn't realize that I was player 2. He thought I was an enemy, and he kept punching me. And I had to kind of show him that, like, hey, I'm on your side by attacking all the enemies, and he finally got the hang of it. But he was actually a really good two-player partner. You know, like we did a really good job of like splitting all the power-ups. You know, like I would, you know, if I didn't need help as bad as he did, I would let him take the piece of turkey or whatever, and he did the same for me. And I guess I should mention neither of us was wearing like a headset or whatever, so we couldn't actually talk to each other. So it was all sort of done with like in-game body language, but it worked pretty well. So, I mean, I guess my point with that is I had fun playing the game multiplayer just because, like, I don't really get a lot of opportunities to play, like, couch co-op just because I don't really have, like, gamer friends. So, like, even though it was so clunky, it was, to me, I just, like, put up with it, you know? That takes half your health. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this. It's not even a boss. That's the horrible part. Is everybody thoroughly bored to death yet? Sorry, I guess I haven't checked the comments in a while. I should. I'll just do it now. There we go. Pause. Yeah, Blade Blur, I mean, it emulates the audio, I think, perfectly. It sounds great. It just has that underlying buzz that I personally I can't hear the buzz when I'm playing, so I don't think it's a big deal. But it's just if it's between levels and it's accessing the SD card, that's when you start to hear that buzz. And I mean, I think it's kind of overblown, but at the same time, it would be nice if it wasn't there. Not Frank Castle. Are you a fan of VR games? I've honestly never played a VR game. Like, I have a friend who has a HTC Vive or whatever, and he's tried to get me to come over and play it, and I just haven't done it. I don't know. I mean, I don't really have time for modern gaming, so even if I did go check it out and liked it, it's not like I'm gonna get to play it. Blabler, no, I'm playing this on original hardware. Although I'm using the Super System SD3 optical drive emulator, but I'm playing it on an actual PC engine. Would be funny if I live streamed a magazine. I mean, I've thought about it, but I just feel like it wouldn't, like I wouldn't be able to show the gameplay footage and stuff like that. Is Metal Jesus in here? I highly doubt it. Okay, I'll call it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure VR is really cool, and actually, you know what I'd really like to try is playing like Gran Turismo or something in VR. You know, like if I got a VR headset for my PS4. I was pretty disappointed that with Gran Turismo Sport, they really emphasized online play, just because I don't play online. Well, I don't play online really at all. I mean, I think today's the first time I actually played a video game with somebody on the internet, and I couldn't even tell you how long. But especially with like driving games, like the biggest thing that can ruin a driving game experience is like playing it online with people who are not very good drivers. So, not that I'm saying I'm great or anything, but that's something I want to play single player. And so, the fact that... Okay, I think... Dude, this guy doesn't die. Oh, we killed each other. That's lame. Is that game over? No. Okay, thank goodness. All right, I think we can get him this time. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Beer time. That's what time it is. Am I allowed to drink beer on the stream, or is that like tacky? I have like a fridge full of beer, like 6 feet away from me. I always thought the Medusa's heads looked really cool in this game, the way they're kind of like waving, like the heads are kind of going like this back and forth. That looks pretty sweet. Let me see if I can beat this guy, and then if I can beat this guy, then that'll be my reward. Got him. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I guess I don't really need it that bad, but could have gotten that little health sundae or whatever out of the bell there. It's a pretty cool looking level too, all those candles in the background. Ooh, that's got to be game over. Oh, look, even the game over is all colorful. Well, hey, let me get a beer real fast. And you guys talk amongst yourselves and decide if we should play something else. All right. Got an Anchor Steam, Stone, some other weirdo stuff. Oh, no, I like this one. All right. This has to go in a cup, though. Can I just say that I'm having way more fun than I think I would if we had stuck to the original plan for the evening? Oh yeah, I forgot Street Fighter 2. I only mentioned Cheeky Boys because somebody else was talking about it. Somebody brought this. I don't know what this is. It's Uba Dank West Coast IP. I don't know. It's from a brewery here in Sacramento. And then I gotta put it. I don't like drinking beer out of a can. I mean, I don't mind that the beer was in a can. I prefer to pour it into a cup or a glass. I don't know why. Like if it's in a bottle, we're fine. So, all right. You need whiskey? Well, covered. But I'm not going to have any whiskey. All right. So, are we in agreement then that we're going to stop playing Castlevania? It was Rondo of Blood, somebody asked. Yeah, we got to play Blazing Lasers, we said, and Street Fighter 2. Oh, hey, Nicole. Thank you. Don't drink in Dracula. That's funny. Okay, so let's just play Street Fighter 2 first because I'm not going to play it for very long because I'm really not good at it. And I'm just going to further embarrass myself. And, oh, we could play Splatterhouse. That would be cool, too. All right, so Street Fighter, Blazing Lasers, Splatterhouse. All right, so let's go ahead and restart the PC Engine. What was the original stream plan, right? I was supposed to stream Sega Genesis Classics for the PS4. It was I have a sponsorship with Sega, and so I'm supposed to do that. And I had technical problems, so I didn't do it. So I gotta go down to Japanese Hue card. Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, Japanese Hue card, and then we just have to find Street Fighter 2. So like I said, some people try to say that, I don't know, they try to talk about Street Fighter 2 as being like the most arcade perfect version, or that it was better than the Super Nintendo version. So visually it's not super impressive because I mean this is just the Turbografx-16. But keep in mind that this version came out before the Super Famicom and Super Nintendo versions. So this was like the first. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first home version of the game, and it's Champion Edition. This game's pretty quiet. Someone tell me if that's too loud, but like it was so quiet I couldn't even hear it. So I'm always Ryu or Ryu because that's what I looked like in my younger days. But I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit, and I don't have. Oh crap! I forgot to put it in the 6 button. I don't know if I can just do that on the fly. Oh yeah. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Choice of Ryu not as good. It's just who I always am.
Round 2, fight! Hadouken!
Like I said, don't judge my technique. I've never been a Street Fighter expert. Well, I've been playing this game since it came out. I don't remember where I've told the story before. I know I've told it before, but for 1 year we actually had a Street Fighter 2 cabinet at my high school. And we had a Mortal Kombat cabinet actually as well. We had them like right next to each other. There was like this room at my high school that nobody was using. I don't know why. And it got turned into like the student lounge or whatever. And there was like a snack bar there where you could buy like, you know, like nachos or whatever, chips, sodas. And we had 2 arcade cabinets in there, and it was Mortal Kombat and it was Street Fighter 2. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ryan, maybe you know. I don't know why Sonic 3 was not included with the Sega Genesis classics. It seems odd. I don't know if it's an emulation thing or something. Like it's harder to emulate. Sorry, I hate Dalzim, so I want to keep him as far away from me as possible. Because Sonic and Knuckles is missing as well, which it's okay with me. My favorite is the original. In fact, somebody asked me like 20 minutes ago, I apologize, like what my favorite Sega Genesis game is, and it's probably the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Because that's why I got a Sega Genesis to begin with. But Sonic 2 is also very good. I mean, they're all good. I just think like if you play Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, it like was really more evident that the Genesis didn't have a very large on-screen color palette, you know, or like the number of colors that it could show on screen. Whoops. Like they were trying to do too much with too little, if that makes sense. Like trying to make it look more detailed than they could with the colors that they had available. So for me personally, like it doesn't super bother me that Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles weren't included, except it just seems bizarre. I'm not good against myself, so.
Round 1, fight! Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
Well, you just stood there and let me do that.
Hadouken! 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 Hadouken!
Well, I mean, the thing is, Genesis games are, you know, for a long time, like, the Genesis was like the poor man's retro gaming system, like 10 years ago. It's like when the prices of, like, NES games and Super Nintendo games started really going up, Genesis games did it. And I mean, same thing with, like, Atari games. Atari games are still cheap, but, the Genesis didn't start really going up until really not that long ago, I don't think. Like now, if I'm looking for a game, like for the show, you know, like if I can't just do the whole show off of like EverCredits and stuff, because like I want to be able to show the box, you know, or at the very least, like in like the video thumbnail or whatever, and so I want to actually have the game. See, I told you where you can get me. I'll play one more time. I'll play as somebody else, but I don't know anybody else's special move, so it's gonna be a little bit ugly. But
9, 8, 7.
Well, you can't. And I just feel like now, outside of like sports games, like what Genesis games can you really buy complete in the box for less than like $20? Which, I mean, is not the end of the world, but I mean, $20 is, to me kind of a lot. You know? I mean, I've been collecting old games for a really long time, since the 90s, and you know, I remember when if a loose Nintendo cartridge was like $5 or more, that was kind of on the pricier side. Like if you went out to the thrift stores and you saw a game that you could sell for $5 or more, you'd grab it just so you could sell it on the forum to, you know, get money to buy other games. You know, like we used to look for games like Bubble Bobble because you could get like $10 for a copy of Bubble Bobble. I mean, I don't know how much it sells for now, but I'm saying like what NES game isn't probably at least $10. I don't ever play as Guile, so I don't really know what it's. How do you do the Sonic? So I mean, I didn't mean to go on some rant about video game prices. Just you know, I'm glad I got things when I did, but you know, I have a hard time spending what things cost now. But sometimes if I need it for the show, then you know, I'll go ahead and buy it. But it's hard knowing that, you know, this is a game I could have bought a few years ago or whatever for like very little, and now look how much it is, you know, and especially at places like video game conventions. Like, you know, like I was mentioning, I'm working on this Turbografx-16 in 1989 video, right? It's like one of the games that I have to cover is Moto Rotor. And I got Moto Rotor more than a few years ago, I guess 5 or 6 years ago at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And anytime you go to one of those expos, like you're gonna pay a lot for a game. You're gonna pay at least like eBay prices for a game. And not even paying attention anymore. And I still have the price tag is still on my copy. My complete, well, it's not in the box, but it's like, you know, the jewel case and the Hue card and the manual. CIC we call it. For Turbografx games, and I got it for $10. And like, what Turbografx game can you get now for $10? Like a sports game, I guess. Like you could probably get like World Class Baseball or something for that price. But, like I remember even like China Warrior. Like I bought my copy of China Warrior in like 2004, and it was like $5. So I can't. It's got to be more than that now, right? Alright, I think that's enough Street Fighter 2, and so I'm going to move on to... let's do Blazing Lasers. Just fair warning, I don't think I've played Blazing Lasers since... What did I do? Is everything okay? I haven't played Blazing Lasers since I think I made the launch video, the Turbografx launch video, so... I'm not going to be putting on a clinic, is all I'm saying. Wow, you got Snatcher for $6. That's awesome. Yeah, like Snatcher is one of those games that like I never bought it because it was always expensive, but it used to be that it was like a $75 game, you know, and so that's why we didn't get it. And now it's like, I think the last time I tried to buy Snatcher complete, I had offered the guy $300 for it, and he wouldn't take it. And it was just like, I'm not paying more than that. I shouldn't have even offered him that. I mean, not because it's not worth it, but just because like that's just too much to pay for a video game. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Okay, now we should. Sorry, I still had the controller in 6-button mode. So 2-button games don't like being in 6-button mode. So. One thing I kind of don't like about this game is I don't like that it numbers the weapons. Because like I don't remember which one is what, you know. I mean, all the upgrades are really cool, but it's like I don't remember what a number 1 is, or a number 2, or a number 3. You know, like I prefer to just have them be like color coded or something. Like like Soldier Blade is. So usually I just stick with the 3. As long as if you just keep picking up 3s, then you saw that the weapon got upgraded. Now it's like homing though, I think, if I remember correctly. When somebody finally comes by. Maybe not. Oh yeah, see.
Homing missile.
But I don't like that. Like I like this better where you have the separate
Field thunder.
where you have the homing missiles and then you have your main weapon. Rather than your main weapon being like homing. So you can see like the main weapon just keeps getting more and more complicated. I could swear it has. He already got an extra life if you get rid of that. I could swear there's one more upgrade for this weapon. But
Multi-body.
and like one of the things about this game that's kind of like, I don't want to say I dislike it because I like this game a lot, but there's lots of times where you're just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen. Like right now, like there's no enemies. You're just like, and it's cool, I think, for shooters to have that because it kind of gives you a chance to just sort of rest for like, 3 seconds or whatever. But I think in this game it happens a little bit too often. That was quick. Wayman wants to know when I'm going to do a review on the Super SD System 3. So what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to have the review of that come out at about the same time as the Turbografx in 1989 video, so I think they would go well together. Maybe release one and then release the other like I don't know, a couple days later or something. My goal is to have those videos out this month. I don't know. I'm kind of finishing up school for the quarter. Like I know I've mentioned it many times before, but for those who don't know, on top of having a job, I'm also in graduate school, so sometimes that gets a little bit hectic. So like right now, we're heading into finals week, and I have like a project I have to finish. I have to study for my finals. On top of that, I have a lot of work to do at my job. So, but that being the case, it is still my hope that I will be able to have that I'll be able to have the Turbografx video out this month, and like I said earlier, I want to have a magazine read through out this month. For those who don't know, if you don't follow the show on Twitter, Dollar Shave Club decided to keep sponsoring magazine read-throughs, but they're only going to do it every other month for the rest of the year. So my plan is to have one magazine read-through every month, and so like every other one will be sponsored, and every other one just won't be sponsored. But I mean, that's fine, because the sponsorship deal is nice, and I just needed to be able to get something out of those videos, just because time spent making a magazine read-through was time that could be spent on something like a launch video. And the magazine read-throughs, they have like a hardcore, smaller following, and so they don't get enough views to really make it. And I hate saying it like that, but make it worth my time compared to the other things I could be working on at that time. But I really enjoy making them, so I didn't want to have to stop. So, like, I thought about setting up a Patreon campaign for it, but I just honestly don't think that they have enough of a viewership that would really help. But, so the thing with Dollar Shave Club really helped out a lot. So. Yeah, thanks, Dylan. I mean, it was really only like 2 people, I think, and not even really 2. I mean, I think there's one guy on Twitter was really kind of turning into a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I think the other guy was just asking honest questions about it. It didn't bother me. To be honest, the reaction to that whole sponsorship thing was a lot less negative than I thought it was going to be, so it was a pleasant surprise. Speaking though of Dollar Shave Club, I don't know. Have you guys watched the Gaming Historian's latest video? He did like the history of the 32X, and he got sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. And man, like the video spot that he did was so much better than the one I did. I gotta step my game up, I would say. So you see we're getting extra lives left and right here. We have yet to die, although I hate even saying that because now I'm going to die. But this is one of those games that just gives you like a lot of extra lives when you hit certain like point thresholds or whatever. And so we're up to 6 extra lives at this point.
Homing missile.
So you can see that like you have to choose between certain secondary weapons. Like you can have homing missiles, which I have now, or you can have what it calls multi-fighters, which are just like options in Gradius, but you can't have both. I guess the game maybe doesn't want you to get too overpowered, because some games you can get ridiculously overpowered, but especially with this game, like you don't really get one-hit kills in this game unless I think something really powerful hits you. You just kind of get your weapon knocked down a notch or whatever. And so if you got your ship super powerful, then I think it would make the game a little bit too easy. Oh, so I just got hit. So you see that the weapon kind of got downgraded a little bit, I guess the word
Homing
should
missile.
use. I like the graphics in this area. I don't know what this little space station-y structure is supposed to be, but it looks really neat. Most people consider, I was going to talk about this when I do my little Turbografx video on the other channel, but there was, what I did is I didn't make my own top 10 list because I just figured I'm just one guy, and over on some of the Turbografx forums, they, like somebody started a thread and just told everybody, like, post up your top 10 lists, and he basically made like a master top 10 list out of everybody's top 10 list by just assigning point values to people's lists. Like if you said a game was number 1 on your list, then that game got 10 points. If it was number 2, 9 points, etc., etc. And then he just added up. There was like an aggregate score that each game got, right? And so that way it was like a crowdsourced top 10 list. And so I just used that and just said, okay, whatever the crowdsourced top 10 list is, those are like off limits for me. And on that list, I'll say this. I don't remember what position it was in, but I believe that Blazing Lasers was like the highest rated vertically scrolling shooter. I think Airsoft was the highest rated horizontally scrolling shooter. And like I think Blazing Lasers is a great game, so don't get me wrong, but I don't see how you can say that this game is better than Soldier Blade, personally. I think this game is better than Superstar Soldier, but I think, for me at least, Soldier Blade is the best vertically scrolling shooter on the system. That guy's deal is. And then, like, see, this level just seems like it drags on forever. Like, we're still in this space station here. I guess I should have grabbed that since I don't really have anything. The music in this stage is really awesome. Of course, I mean, the Turbografx-16 is certainly known for its music. Music, I would say, and sort of how colorful the graphics are. I mean, compared to the Nintendo, the Turbografx has a superior color palette. But somehow, I mean, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember what the maximum number of on-screen colors is for the Turbografx versus the Genesis. But it almost seemed like the Turbografx just has the perfect number of colors that you can have on the screen, because the vast majority of Turbografx games are really vibrant. And, I mean, there's some exceptions, I think, like Dungeon Explorer. is not vibrant at all. But I think that was an artistic decision because I think it adds to the atmosphere of the game. And I would say the same thing about Splatterhouse, also not vibrant. But again, I would say that was an intentional design choice. But I mean, a game like this, I mean, you see like that red structure and like those scrolling red lights, and it really just pops off the screen. Of course, I mean, it doesn't help that I'm playing the system in RGB, right? But just in general, I just think that the graphics are some of the most colorful, really, of any system. Mutual oh, what's it gonna do? No, I gotta start over again. I have to start way back here. That's messed up. Missed that guy. Let me pause it real quick. I just want to talk to you guys for a second. Oh, Dylan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, and Centel, thank you as well. I really do appreciate it. How are the razors from Dollar Shave Club? I mean, they're pretty cool. You get at least the ones I got were 6-bladed cartridges, so that's pretty nice. You can get less, obviously, for less money. And yeah, that's right. I mean, sponsorship is a more direct form of advertising. I mean, that magazine read through was sponsored, so I don't have pre-roll ads enabled on that video. Yeah, the history of Tetris video that the gaming historian, you know what's funny, I kind of don't watch a lot of gaming historian videos because it's like I'm jealous, you know, because he does such a good job, like, you know, of anybody who's doing gaming stuff on YouTube. Norm's stuff should be like on television, you know. And I think he tries to kind of model himself, like, I think he kind of creates the video game version of like Ken Burns documentaries on PBS, but he does an awesome job at it. So I look up to the guy a lot. That's crazy. You found me through Norm's videos. I guess it must have been like a recommended video on the sidebar or something. That's pretty awesome. I got a postcard actually the other day from somebody who told me that he's not really into video games. Like, he found my channel and he's not into gaming, but he likes my stories over on CGQ Plus. And so I'm really curious, like, well, how did you find the show? Someone wants to know, what are you studying for in grad school? Chemistry, since I'm a chemist. Like, I have a bachelor's in chemistry. I'm trying to get a graduate degree. Keith Courage, that game sucks. It doesn't suck. It's not a great game. I don't understand why they had that be the included game. Someone was posting about 512 colors on screen at the same time for the Turbografx? That'd be nuts. If so, that explains why it looks so good, though. Yeah, someone else is asking about the Genesis collection. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the Genesis collection tomorrow. So, but I'm still going to do it. I changed the... Did it not save it? I mean, I changed the video title so that hopefully it wouldn't still bring people here for that. That's cool. Basement Brother says he found me watching Neo Geo videos. So, you know, me and this Basement Brothers guy are kind of, we're members of the same web forum. I won't say which one, but so I kind of know him from there. And so just to give him a little bit of a plug, Basement Brothers has a channel where he's trying to like review every Neo Geo game in chronological order. I think it's pretty cool. So I recommend you guys go check the guy out. So I think he makes good content. So all right, back to Blazing Lasers. Sorry I got killed with the boss because now we have to backtrack a little bit. I'm just enjoying listening to the music.
Homing missile.
We gotta try and power our dude back up.
Field thunder.
I almost feel like I shouldn't have picked that up. Hopefully, oh, that's not bad. Hopefully we can power this up a little bit. And, I mean, that boss is not difficult, so it makes it even worse that I got killed. But hopefully if we can get some good power before we get there, it'll be child's play. Yeah, Basement is saying he doesn't have anybody watching the show. Like, I mean, I know how that is because we've all been there. One thing I would say to you, just is sort of just a word of encouragement, is that the kind of content that you're making is not at all time sensitive, and like the more of those Neo Geo review videos you make, you know, the more your channel is going to turn into sort of an authority on Neo Geo games. So like, it can definitely be disheartening that you know, you're probably not getting as many views as you wish you were when you're uploading your videos, but like just stick with it, and you know, your hard work will pay off. I can't get away from that guy. Ooh, there you go. I psyched him out that time. That's what you gotta do. You gotta like do a little deep or something to get that guy to not hit you. So you see what I mean, though? That boss really isn't that hard, so. That's a good analogy. It's a lot like working out. Yeah. I mean, you don't see results right away, right? New CGQ. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It makes me feel guilty. I really wish I could upload more often, but speaking of that though, I already know, I just have to find time to record it, but like, I already know what I'm going to talk about on the next episode of Flashback over on Cgq Plus, and like, I'm so excited. Like, I mean, I'll just tell you, it's not like it's a secret, but basically I'm going to talk about getting the Game Boy, because I got a Game Boy like pretty early on. It was like really the only system when I was a kid. This level's very hard, by the way, so I'm like, it was one of the only systems as a kid that I was sort of like an early adopter. In fact, it was the only one when I was a kid where I was an early adopter. It wasn't until, I guess, until I got my PS2 at launch was probably like the next time that I can really say that I was like an early adopter or something. But like, I had the Game Boy like the first Christmas that it was out. And the Game Boy didn't come out at Christmas, but I'm saying I had it. Christmas of '89 was its first Christmas on the market. So that was pretty cool. And that also happened to be my first year in junior high school. So like, you know, I was going to sort of talk about that whole experience of being in junior high. So I'm just excited because I think it's going to be a cool episode. You know, I think some of those flashback episodes are kind of better than others. And, I think I have no shortage of things to talk about for this one. So I'm pretty excited to record it. And then for anybody that doesn't follow the show on Twitter, I'm trying an experiment where I'm going to start, I should say, editing the show on an iPad Pro. And the reason I'm excited about that is I think that being able to do it on that, because it's portable, will help me to be able to edit the shows faster. So, because I won't be tethered to my computer. Like, I don't think I could make a launch video necessarily on the iPad, but there's like a third-party company that actually makes some pretty robust video editing software for the iPad, and so I bought like a 256 gigabyte iPad Pro, which I kind of bought that with the money I'm getting for the Sega stream, so that's why I really have to make sure that I do it. So I'm definitely going to be bringing my Elgato down here tomorrow so that I can do that. I really don't know what's going on with this. You know, I have this StarTech. It's a USB 3.0 capture device, and it's a good capture device. I like it, but I seem to have problems anytime I'm trying to pass it audio through HDMI. So, like, even if you give it video through HDMI, it seems to be happier if you can give it audio through its line in. Like right now, I'm not using HDMI because this PC Engine is hooked up to an OSSC, and I have the older style OSSC, so it's not an HDMI model. It's a DVI model, so it's just got the separate audio out, and which I think that for capturing it's kind of better to keep them separate. And I don't know why this capture device just doesn't like having the HDMI in the audio. Maybe there's something wrong with the drivers or something. But I spent like an hour. I even came in early today because I wanted to make sure I had everything set up and everything was fine so that the stream would go off without a hitch. And then obviously it didn't go off without a hitch, but I didn't want to just not stream because as we got closer and closer to 6 o'clock, I saw that there were quite a few people like waiting here in the you know, in the video interface or whatnot, waiting for the video to start. And I was like, well, there's no way that I can just cancel it. Like, that's just poor form. And so I just figured that, you know, I have a PC Engine here, so we're just gonna salvage what we can. So, and I mean, I'm having a good time, and hopefully you guys are too. So, actually, I'm gonna pause real quick because I think there's a lot of people that. There's a lot of questions I could have. Ryan Butler, why do you have an iPad if you have an interest in preservation? I guess I'm not sure I understand your question. Like, I have an iPad out of convenience. It has nothing to do with preservation. I mean, I think you buy something like an iPad, you have to accept the whole planned obsolescence thing. I mean, yeah. Oh, that's cool. So someone started watching CGQ Plus. Yeah, I mean, I really have a good time making the videos over on CGQ Plus, and it's pretty cool. You know, there's, you know, I don't know how many subscribers there are over there now, but enough that, you know, I think it's pretty cool that that it's got a little bit of an audience, you know, and like the common thing over there is that is the nostalgia. Like, that's what everybody says, is like they love the nostalgia. I don't read the postcards. I mean, I read them, but I'm saying I don't on air read the postcards that I get, just because I don't think people want to hear that necessarily. But like, I swear almost every postcard I get says something about they love the show because of the nostalgia and because of the memories that it brings back for them. So, which is the whole reason. See, that's too bright, and then that's like not bright enough. Which is the whole reason I do the show, is because it takes me back to that time too, and talk about whatever I want to talk about, right? Why do you want to eat 500 subs? I'd love to just eat one sub. Like, Subway sounds awesome right now. I didn't eat dinner. I didn't even hardly eat lunch either. Yeah, Subway BMTs are good. Is it Turbografx? Yeah, Jeff, you're spelling it wrong both times. It's Turbografx, one word, and it's GRAFX. PC Engine is getting a lot of traction lately. I mean, in one sense, it's about time that people started giving the Turbografx and the PC Engine its due. But at the same time, like, those games were expensive enough already, and now it's just going to get even worse. So Ryan says, it's not a hatred of Apple per se. This is a Mac here, but iOS has issues from a preservationist. That's definitely true. I agree. It's you know, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. So, oh, Dylan, you sent the Dr. Pepper Museum. Yeah, the Dr. Pepper Museum postcard. I love Dr. Pepper. It's my stepdad's favorite soda. So, I didn't realize that there was a Dr. Pepper Museum, but that's pretty awesome. And yeah, I'd kill for a $5. I have some food in my fridge here. I'm not gonna make you guys. Besides, beer has calories. So I think I'm probably gonna maybe try to wrap up the stream at like 8:30. I told my wife I'd be home at 9 because I think she's gonna hold my feet to the fire. I said, I would like to get something. Not good. So, sorry, Jeff, I don't know if you were asking if I'm on the West Coast or somebody else is. I'm on the West Coast. So this is not a good place to be when your ship's not powered up. This is bad. Yeah, Jeff, it was only once, I think, that we went to Carmel, and we had like drove, I don't know if maybe you know or not, but at Carmel there's this thing called 17-mile drive, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. I mean, it's just like a nice drive like down the coast on this road. It's like 17 miles long, and we did that, but I don't remember because I haven't done it since I was a kid. But I think maybe the golf course is like on 17-mile drive. I know for sure that at that time when we went, that was when Clint Eastwood was the mayor of Carmel, if you remember that, and his house was on 17-mile drive, which I thought was like the coolest thing. But yeah, it was. I don't know what it was. It's like we went to Carmel and like they're like, oh yeah, this is like the Pebble Beach golf course, and like that's like a really cool golf course or whatever. Jesus again. And I don't know what it was. It was like all of a sudden it made me interested in golf. And like we had like this old set of golf clubs that like nobody even used. And I would take like the putter and I would like lay it across the handlebars of my bike and I would ride my bike to like the municipal golf course. Because you can go to a golf course, like they don't charge you to just like use the putting green, right? So like I would just practice putting because it was free. And then for whatever reason, I ended up asking for that Pebble Beach golf links game, and I got it. And I seem to remember that when I asked for it, I think my stepmom was like skeptical, like you really want that? Like, are you sure? Like, I said, yeah, that's what I want. And I mean, I played the game quite a bit. Like it wasn't like I played it for a day or two and then put it away. I mean, for some reason, I just really liked it. I mean, I still like it. It's not a good golf game. It's not a horrible golf game. Like, if you're going to play golf on the Nintendo, the NES Open Tournament golf is the best golf game. Alright, so we made it to whatever this is. Now we got these freaking eyeball things that come out of the walls. This level is kind of reminiscent of, like, Life Force, as far as the whole disgusting biological theme, or certain parts of R-Type. What is it, level 2 of R-Type? That's pretty gross. Alright, so now we're getting powered up a little bit. Hopefully we don't waste it. I don't want that. I mean, this level is usually where I check out, but I mean, we'll see how I do. Oh, I was trying to get the homing missiles. No! Were we on last life, I think? So I think based on what time it is, it's 8:10. So I think after this we can play like one more game. So I'm gonna let you guys decide, like whoever's still here. I'll let you guys decide what game we're gonna play. Because I mean, I'm not gonna last much longer. I don't think than my last life at this point. So yeah. So let's play one more game. Let me know what you guys think. Alright, that's it. Well, I don't know. We didn't have a bad run, I guess. I mean, pretty average, I suppose. So while you guys are deciding what game we're going to play, I'm just going to scroll up in the comments here a little bit. Guess somebody was getting lippy. It looks like Dylan had his work cut out for him. Launch of the Nintendo GameCube. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely at some point I'm going to have to do that, right? I mean, as far as Nintendo goes, I mean, I really think I need to do the NES next. Because, it's like I skipped... I skipped the NES. I did the Super NES and the Nintendo 64. So, it seems kind of awkward, that I should go back to the NES. But then after that, I mean, the GameCube would be the next step. Chris loves him some Back to the Future. Heck yeah, I do. Such good movies. Sorry, I'm almost caught up, I think. Oh, hey, someone said they liked the streaming overlay. Thank you. Somebody else told me that they thought the streaming overlay was really lame. And that was kind of a bummer because I like it. It's just supposed to be nostalgic. It's supposed to look lo-fi. Like, it's not supposed to look realistic. But, I don't know. I thought it was cool. All right, yeah, what game are we playing? Download 2, Hellfire, Splatterhouse. I mean, I said I was going to play Splatterhouse, so like maybe I should just stick to the original plan. Ninjas. I actually played, so I'm not going to play Ninja Spirit just because if you go over to Cgq Plus and you can, I mean, I don't know how fun it is to watch a previously recorded stream, but I did the PC Engine Power stream, I called it, and I played Ninja Spirit on there. So so let's just go ahead and stick to the original plan. I'll play some Splatterhouse. Again, not a game that I'm going to be awesome at, but it's an awesome game. It's kind of loud, isn't it? Someone tell me if that's too loud. I just see the audio meter and it looks loud. Too loud? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought too. How about someone tell me if that's how that is? That seems better to me. I have I talked about that over on Cgq Plus as well. Like I have Splatterhouse 3 on the Genesis, and that was kind of like my last great thrift store find ever. I don't even go to the thrift stores anymore, but when I still had my old job, and I drove around. I had to drive around a lot for work because I would go like visit labs and whatnot, and I would go hit up thrift stores and whatnot. And I traveled a lot for work too, like to other cities, other states, and I always knew where all the video game stores were. Like I used to love. I don't know if anybody is here from like the Southwest, but I used to have to go to Phoenix a lot, Phoenix, Arizona, and I would go to like two different bookmans. Like I knew where the two bookmans were in the Phoenix metropolitan area that were like the closest to where I was. And I'd come home with all kinds of stuff. In fact, I still have it. I came home with a Sega Saturn driving steering wheel, like the first party steering wheel, which I think I showed in the Sega Saturn launch video when I was playing Daytona. And it was so big I had to bring it on the plane with me, and so I felt like a huge goober because, like, I had to, like, my carry-on was like this big paper bag with a Sega Saturn steering wheel. I think there was even other stuff in that bag. I used to find a lot of good stuff at Bookman's, like whoever was like pricing the video games there, like anything that was well known was going to be like overpriced. But you could always find like these sort of uncommon, like especially PlayStation games at that time. This was only about 5 years ago. You could find like uncommon PlayStation games that just nobody knew about for like $5 because they had never heard of them. You know, like nothing like super rare, you know, like Sweetikin 2 or however you say that. But just there were a lot of games that for a long time I had been like looking for on the PlayStation that I ended up getting there because they just had a huge selection of PlayStation games. But, you know, like, they would have, like, I forgot what game it was. They had some Turbografx Turbo CD game, you know, in their glass case, and it was, like, $300, because it was something where, like, you know, if you work at, like, a video game, the used video game store, even if it's something like Bookman's, where maybe the people there are not, like, video game experts, they're going to know enough to see, like, a Turbografx game, and they're going to know, like, oh, that's something expensive, you know, and they're going to look that up on eBay. So you're not going to get something like that there for a good price. But same thing, like I would look through their NES games. Sometimes you'd find, oh, you have to jump over those guys. Sometimes I would find like NES games that were, again, like nothing crazy, but you know, before EverDrives came out, even for my show or for my website, like if I wanted to review a game, I had to have the real thing, and you know, you could find some just sort of less common stuff there. But again, that was enough years ago that I don't know how. Where am I? Oh, I died. I don't know how bad it is now. I don't even really bother going to thrift stores anymore, just because, you know, like my local thrift store here, there's a guy that goes in there and he has like this barcode scanner on his phone, and he just like scans like everything as fast as he can. Like he goes through there and like they put anything that's like new has its own like place. Like there's these tables and like this is the new arrivals, and he goes in there like twice a day and he scans everything, and anything he can make enough of a profit on, he just grabs it. And I see him in there a lot because he's in there so much, and it just makes me mad just because like I see stuff in his cart where, you know, I would have taken that if he wasn't there, and I wouldn't have resold it. You know, he's reselling it. But I don't know. I mean, he's doing it as a job. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong, but you know, collecting old video games and stuff was really cool before the resellers came along. Which is kind of funny. It's almost like hypocritical to say it, because we used to do the same thing. You know, like you'd go to the thrift store, and like I was saying earlier, you know, you would find like a Nintendo game like Bubble Bobble or something, and you knew that you could sell it for like $10 on the forums, and you would grab it because to you it's like, well, this is how I'm funding my hobby. But that was really before that stuff was really on the radar of like resellers, and it was really before like being an eBay/Amazon reseller as a career was like a thing. I think it's the picture, right, that we have to... I just don't remember. Remember you have to... What was it? Share. That's right. Right in the face. All right, see you later, Bo. Sorry, I'll still scroll up and read everybody else's stuff, but thanks for hanging out, Bo. I appreciate it, and thanks for being a moderator. By the way, anybody that I made a moderator, like you're like a moderator now. Like if you come back next time, you're still going to be one. So, and thanks for the help, because I see that you guys definitely had a little bit of work that you had to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. We still got 10 minutes, and I'm going to see where it puts us. Well, that's not so great, but it'll be all right. Alright, so now we gotta go back down into the water, I think. I don't like this water area. Grab the 2x4. Hopefully we'll do better this time. Oh, that's the I keep hitting up and jump, and you can't do that. That makes sense. That's weird, though. Why can't you hit up and jump? See, like when you hit up, you go like that and turn your back, and you can't jump. By the way, I assume everybody has noticed that your life meter is like human hearts. That's pretty awesome. Has anybody played this game in the arcade? Like, this is not a game I ever saw back in the arcade when I was a kid, which is too bad. Seems like the safest spot to like hang out is over here. All this stuff is falling. You have to give him credit. I mean, as far as boss battles go, this is very creative. Two? Goodness. Oh, man. Where's he gonna put us back? Oh, cool. Now I'm fully charged up. Hopefully that'll help. It seems like for fighting against the picture, I think I wasn't standing in like the optimal spot, so I think I need to move forward a little bit this time. Oh man, dude, that sucks. Things are not going well. Alright, I'll give it one more chance, but I think after that we're going to get game over again, and I don't want to continue. So I think after we get game over this time, I'm going to just, you know, visit with you guys one more time, and then we'll bring the stream to a close, but just as a reminder, I'm going to stream again tomorrow, because I still got to do the Sega Classics thing. Which, I mean, I want to do it, so it's not like I'm happy about not doing it. I think it's going to be a cool stream. We're going to get to play some cool Genesis games. And, you know, like I said, I mean, that collection does have its issues, but it's not terrible. There, you know, I bought, when I bought my Dreamcast, I bought it with that Sega All-Stars collection. That was terrible. I think it's disappointing that I wish that Sega would put a little bit more effort into doing a good job, and I just, you know, I don't know why they don't. You know, I don't know if they've, like, crunched the numbers and they just don't think enough people are gonna buy something. He didn't even hit me. Are gonna buy something like the Sega Genesis Classics collection and make it worth it or something. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead and not continue, and I'm just gonna bring the computer over here just to chat with you guys one last time. So we gotta scroll up quite a bit. Quite a bit. Yeah, that's what Popstobon says. He just got the SSDS3 with and he got a Core Graphics with a jail bar fix. Yeah, Core Graphics is what I have here. I haven't done the jail bar fix. I don't know. I don't think it's really that bad. I think it varies from PC Engine to PC Engine though. Mine's not too bad. I mean, I don't think you can even notice it here, but I think some of my recorded gameplay footage you can definitely tell. Someone's got promotional material for the Saturn. That's pretty cool. People are just talking to each other. Thrift store scalping is grimy. It kind of, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, the thing is, because you're saying, poor people in local communities could use this stuff. I mean, it depends on what the stuff is. I mean, I can't, for me as a video game collector, I can't really cry too much that a reseller is buying it because, either way, it's not helping out. I mean, the needier people or whatever, hopefully the thrift store is helping them, and so they're making money either way. But I just think in general, I think that resellers hurt thrift stores because when they take all the good stuff, guys like me don't go in there at all anymore. Because maybe I'd go in there and buy a couple of video games, but maybe I'd buy a couple other little esoteric things that aren't like hot sellers. So, but I mean, whatever. Someone got a Game Gear. That's pretty cool. I want to get a Game Gear, but I want to get the you can get the upgraded screen, the LCD backlit screen. That would be pretty cool. Corey from My Life in Gaming, he was telling me the other day he has one of those, and it even has a video out on it so that he can hook up to his TV, and it has like a controller port on it. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Oh man, Video Game Obsession just showed up. This Video Game Obsession guy, this guy's cool. He has lots of high resolution pictures on his website and whatnot that he lets me use for the show. So if you ever, for those of you who actually watch the show all the way through the credits, he's listed in the credits because I've used so much of his material on my show. And I'm sorry you showed up sort of towards the tail end of things, but like I said, I will be streaming again tomorrow night. Hopefully, if it works, I'll be streaming the PS4 Sega Classics after I get done watching the IndyCar race. Yeah, McWill. That's what I was thinking of. Well, I mean, yeah, right back at you, VGO. I mean, he's an example of somebody like he reached out to me because I think either I used something from his website and didn't credit him, or I used something from somebody else's website that got lifted from him. And he reached out to me and just told me who he was and introduced himself, and I'm more than happy to give him credit because without guys like that, my show's not going to be as good. So yeah, cool guy with a cool website. So anyway, it is now 8:30. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream. Obviously, you guys are welcome to hang out and keep chatting amongst yourselves if you like. And otherwise, I think maybe I'll try to do tomorrow's stream a little bit earlier just to make it easier for East Coast people. So maybe I'll try to start it at like 5 instead of 6. I don't know. I got to talk to my wife, obviously, and see what she says. But oh yeah, I forgot the My Life in Gaming stream is tomorrow. I don't know. I'll talk to Corey and see what time he's starting his. I don't really want to step on his toes. My Life in Gaming is kind of like I consider that the Classic Gaming Quarterly sister channel. So I don't want to mess up their deal. So we'll see. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight for tonight. But I look forward to seeing as many of you want to show up tomorrow night. So have a good night, and thank you very much for hanging out.